Well, Mitch, we'll start with you. How are you looking for this week? Do you reckon you're fit to play?
Thus far I've ticked all the boxes, so really excited to be playing on Thursday, and hopefully it can all go well.
Yeah. You're coming up against England. I mean, you must have been dreaming of that as a kid. I know it's not a test match, but you must be just champing at the bit.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, after missing extended period of time, it's good to be back playing any cricket, but get the opportunity to play against England, it's going to be great fun, and I'm really excited.
Can you just take us through your hamstring issues at the moment? Where does it stand, and are you at risk of having to deal with this throughout the rest of your career, having to deal with these tears?
I certainly hope not. I feel like I've done a lot of hard work over the last 9 weeks to get both of my hamstrings to a point where I'm certainly not at a big risk of re-tearing them. So I'm quietly confident that if I keep doing the right things, then in the future my hamstrings will be right, and hopefully the rest of my body can be as well.
And Sean's in the same boat as you, I suppose. How much have you learned off him in how he's recovered from his injuries?
Yeah, obviously I've tried to model myself on Sean, especially over the last 18 months, the way he's sort of turned himself around. So hopefully all the hamstring injuries are gone for both of us.
Mitch, I haven't seen the squad, I'm sorry, but are you available to bowl this week if you play, or just as a batsman?
Just playing as a batsman this week, yeah. My bowling will be coming along over the next 3 to 4 weeks, but certainly won't be rushing back into that. So
You haven't started bowling in the nets yet?
I've started bowling in the nets here off a short run, and hopefully, if all goes to plan, I'll be playing as an all-rounder in a few weeks. I think Warren Andrews, our new strength conditioning coach, he's dropped a few kgs off me, which I think will certainly help. I think it's just a case of my body maturing over the next couple of years, and sticking to a guided program by him and the rest of the WACA staff. So certainly confident that where my body's at right now, I'm fit to go.
And what's the change of focus though that he's got you doing?
I think the biggest thing is, I've lost probably 4 or 5 kilos over the last 9 weeks, which is something that I had to do, and just more specific training around my hamstrings and core to strengthen all that up.
Justin mentioned it, and then you've mentioned it again, Sean's turnaround. Can you tell us, he's going to be captain too of WA. It's been a pretty dramatic change. Can you tell us what changes and what stood out for you that's been a difference for him?
I think obviously Sean's quite a quiet person as it is, but over the last sort of 18 months, he's sort of, I guess he's taken on that leadership role with such a young squad that we have now. All of us young guys certainly look up to what he does, off the field and obviously on the field when he's not injured. We all have a great amount of respect for him, and I think that's come especially over the last 18 months. So. It's great to see, and it's obviously it's a proud moment for me as well to see my brother captaining Western Australia. So, wish him all the best, and obviously all the boys all the best over there for round 1.
Are you pretty confident he might be able to sneak into the Test team, or is that one step too far for him at the moment?
I certainly don't think it's out of his depth. Obviously, his only currency now is runs on the board, so I have no doubt that the selectors will probably be looking at him. And if he scores enough runs, there's no reason why he can't play Test cricket for Australia again. So, certainly wish him all the best.
Okay, can you tell us a bit about how you kind of summarise the strength of the team that will be facing England? Obviously, there are Sheffield Shield commitments. So, what kind of side are going to be playing against England, would you say?
I would say a lot of the guys have played Shield cricket, which I think it's a big thing. I don't think there's anyone making their first-class debut, so I think that's a big thing. And I think, as Mitch said, we're going to come out with a bit of a carefree, enjoy attitude, as well as a lot of the guys who are playing the side are there to individually and as a group prove a bit of a point and try and get back in the Sheffield Shield team.
And great opportunity, obviously, for youngsters in your team. I mean, to be playing England in a tour game, it's a big occasion, isn't it, for Western Australia?
Yeah, definitely. I remember playing 4 years ago in the same game, obviously with our first team, but that was a great 3-day game, and hopefully that can replicate out here this week.
That's right. I mean, you almost made your mark for that summer, didn't you? Playing against England and featured later in the series. So it shows what can happen if you can sort of make a bit of an impression.
Yeah, definitely. If you can make runs or take wickets against one of the best sides in the world, it's going definitely to go on your resume going forward.
Is it daunting at all, for those young guys taking on the might of England?
I think a little bit, but then I think if the guys around, like obviously we've got Mitch Marsh, Bert Cockley, who's a bit of an older statesman in the side, and Tom Trifford, who's played a lot of Shield cricket. We've got a few guys in the side who've come up against, whether it's in now, as we see with the T20 format, but Storches have just been overseas, and we've come up against some Tendulkars and these sort of guys. I think a lot of guys have had that experience against coming up against big players. So I think the experience will be shared amongst the dressing room with that, and we're saying that hopefully they can have the carefree and let's enjoy these 3 days and get the best out of it, I think.
And nice for yourself to be named captain as well.
Yeah, great honour to captain the side, and hopefully we can play really well.
Well, can you tell me how highly you rate this England side? Obviously, Ashes series has gone well for them for the last few. I mean, how do you sum up the strength of this England side and how good they actually are?
I think the strength is how good they are across the board. I think you see guys like Joe Root's come in and stepped up straight away. Obviously, they're bowlers. They've had injuries over the last few series, and then whoever seems to come in seems to be playing a pretty big role. So I reckon good depth and just their all-round capability. They've got a lot of match winners.
And as an experienced player in Australian cricket, how do you sum up almost the atmosphere or the feeling about the strength of Australian cricket at the moment as they try and compete with England?
I think there's strength, but I think it's all about getting when we across obviously the Ashes series mainly. I think if Australia get their team balance right and obviously confidence is I think has got a big part to do with that. And I think Darren Lehmann, from what I've heard, has installed a fair bit of that in the team. So hopefully that going forward to hold them in good stead.
You say there's optimism for the future that Australia can come good again?
Oh, definitely. I think we've still got a very good, strong first-class system. As you can see, we've got some pretty good guys playing in this side, and I think Chris Lynn's been flown over from Queensland to play in this side. So across Australia, there's good players that aren't playing Sheffield Shield cricket. So I think that the strength is definitely there across the board. So hopefully, guys, when they get the opportunity at the top level, whether it's Sean Marsh or whether it's other younger guys or older guys, whoever they look for to fill the gaps or on the day that they perform, and hopefully the team can gel well and hopefully try and get those Ashes back.
Michael, do you feel any responsibility not to let England have it too easy out there to sort of make it a tough start to their summer?
Yeah, it's a hard one, that one. I think we're going to be more worried about what we do. I know there's been talk about, I know Alistair mentioned his press conference the other day when they went to India, he didn't face a ball of spin beforehand. There's been no instruction from me, and I think those sort of games in the past, tour games, have been national selected sides, where this is a Western Australian side, and we've got 11 guys basically going out there to do a job and put their hand up for their own selection. So I don't think we'll definitely won't be give it to them on a silver platter, but we'll be doing our best in our team environment to hopefully perform our best.
Michael, this game 3 years ago, you emerged as a first-class player. I guess you knocked over every batsman in the top order, and that set you up. What do you have to do now to get back into the number one team, do you think? And is this an opportunity to start that process?
Oh, definitely. Personally, it feels like a long time since I played a first-class game. It's been about 10 months, I think. So firstly, it'd be nice to get out there in the white clothes and the red ball. That's something I'm looking forward to. And on top of that, I think it's a great opportunity to show my leadership as a captain. And then, as you said, if you take wickets, you definitely, as Mitch mentioned before, that's my currency. Take some wickets to get back in that side. So I'll definitely be hoping to do that.
What do you have to change about your bowling after 2020 and 50 over cricket in the last number of months?
Well, hopefully I won't be fetching as many out of the crowd, which is what's happening, especially at North Sydney and especially in India. But to be honest, I think it's the relaxed nature of the game suits me a lot more, rather than the fast pace, the batsman coming after you, ball after ball, and obviously limited fieldsmen out. I think the purism of playing cricket and how do you get someone out and using your skill, and especially with obviously a longer form of the game as a spinner, the variable conditions of the pitch as the days go on.
And Mitch, just for you, in terms of higher honours, you've had a taste at one-day level. What do you have to do to get to the ultimate, which is Test?
I think, like I said before, the only currency for me is scoring runs and taking wickets. So I'm certainly not thinking about that too much. I've had 9 weeks on the sideline, so I just can't wait to get back out there and be in the team environment again and not watching cricket. So I'm very excited.
Even at a very young age, your name was always floated about as a future Test all-rounder and whatnot. Is it hard to hear things like that and I mean, it's a lot of pressure that goes with that.
Yeah, obviously there's some pressure that gets put on me, but I've sort of had to learn to deal with that. And as a professional athlete, that's it's always going to happen, that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'm just sort of worrying about contributing to the team, and hopefully I can do that over the next 3 days.
What are some of the goals that you've set for this summer then?
Stay on the park is one. I think if I can stay on the park, then hopefully other things will happen for me, and obviously just working really hard and staying positive.
Should I just ask about someone in your position, as you look up to the Australian side, obviously things not going well Ashes-wise for them. Do you sense as amongst younger players there's that real burning desire, almost you want to almost try and change things, you want to sort of help sway and change the fortunes of Australian cricket?
I think that's certainly the case. All of us, the younger brigade, you could say, are all hoping for that higher honours. But for me, the reality is that I need to score a lot more runs in Shield cricket. And like I said, I'm just looking forward to playing for WA. Hopefully, if I can stay in the park. So, for me, that's my goal at the moment.
Have you had your dad coach you before?
Yeah, he's.
Second 11.
No, I haven't. No, not for Western Australia. So it's looking forward to that. I'll have to bring him in a coffee a few days and see how we go there.